Okay, we're kind of tired of the quadratic formula, even though it works every time, even though we're super good at it. Let's talk about a different way of solving quadratic equations quantitatively. So let's throw in this guy. Let's say I've got p squared plus 6p plus 4 equals negative 2p plus 4. And of course, I'm going to set it equal to 0, so I get p squared plus 8p, because I'm going to add the 2p to this side. I'm going to subtract the 4, so I've got really a plus 0 equals 0. All right, now normally I would say a is 1, b is 8, c is 0. Let's do this another way. You probably remember how to factor, right? So factoring, take it down memory lane, right? P squared, I want these two boxes to combine to give me 8p, right? And I need for this one to be 0. So I'm going to need a p, well, and a 0, and I guess p, and that's going to be 0p. And I guess I'm going to need the whole 8p right here in one box, which is going to give me p plus 8. So I'm going to factor this to p plus 8 times p, or I'm going to write it as p plus 0, all right, because some people like to see it like that. All right, so p plus 8 times p plus 0. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set each one of these equal to 0, just like I'm finding the zeros, right? So this means subtract 8, so p equals negative 8. You remember? Find the zeros. And with this one, well, I can just say p equals 0. That's my second solution. So I've got two solutions, p equals negative 8 and p equals 0. All right, these are the two solutions of this quadratic. I didn't even have to use the quadratic formula. And the cool thing is I used a method that I already knew how to use, which was factoring. All right, and remember that if I know the factors, I know the zeros. These zeros turn out to be the solutions of the quadratic equation. Pretty cool. Let's take a look at another one. All right, so what if I've got an a value other than 1? All right, so let's say I've got 3p squared minus 16p minus 3 equals negative 9p plus 3. And we're going to go ahead and set this equal to 0. So we're going to add 9p's to this side. That gives me negative 7p. Subtract 3 to both sides, so it gives me negative 6, and it's set equal to 0. Now I'm going to try to factor this. All right, if you remember, what I'm looking for in this case, I know my 3p squared goes here, and I know my negative 6 goes here, but I don't want to be guessing and checking the whole time. So I'm going to use my AC product skills. My AC product is 3 times negative 6, which is negative 18. All right, and my sum B, all right, is negative 7. So I'm looking for two numbers whose product is negative 18 and whose sum is negative 7. And those two numbers are negative 9 and positive 2. So I'm going to say negative 9p, positive 2p, and let's factor. P, 3p, I'm looking for greatest common factors, and negative 3. Positive 2. 2 times negative 3, negative 6. So I've got 3p plus 2. P minus 3. All right. Simple for me to find the first solution because I think additive inverse, p equals 3. All right. And the second one, I'm going to go ahead and set up the equation 3p plus 2 equals 0 if I can't do it in my head. So 3p equals negative 2 and p equals negative 2 thirds. Two solutions, 3 and negative 2 thirds. Now, a little bit of information. You could have done this with the quadratic formula. If you think the quadratic formula would be easier when you have an a value other than 1, then go quadratic formula. But if you're pretty good at factoring, then you can use factoring, all right? Remember your AC product and sum B strategy, so that you can find the zeros of the factors, which are going to be the solutions of the equation, all right? That is the lesson.